Welcome, folks, to Occultists Anonymous, episode 59. The one where we clean up and do some stuff and hang out. How you doing? Have you had a good week? Hope you have. Channel some Bob Ross or some Mr. Rogers. Next Halloween, that's what I'm going to do. Figure out if I can pull off a Mr. Rogers. Anyways.
Tom Hanks is doing it, so.
Yeah. Welcome to Occultists Anonymous, where we play Mage the Awakening. Sponsored by Roll20, The Onyx Path, and viewers like you. Just like PBS, we need your guys' support. Actually, that's a lie. We don't need your support. We're going to be doing this no matter what. So if you want to support us, we appreciate that. You can share, you can like, you can subscribe. Subscribe on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, use that Amazon Prime free sub, any of that kind of stuff. That helps support us, that it supports the channel. That stuff is really, really cool, and we appreciate it. Technically, actually, you can even use our affiliate link on Drive-Thru-RPG. So buy yourself a book, and we give it a small kickback. It's a win-win, and you don't have to feel like you're giving us a monthly subscription or anything like that.
Free digital monetary real estate.
Yep. So that's a really cool thing to do. And yeah, you can buy any book you want. If you want to go buy Shadowrun 7th edition, 8th edition, I can't remember what we're up to. 6th edition? Is it really like 6?
I think it's 6. Yeah.
Anyways,
6.
Yeah. And we'll get it. It doesn't have to be Mage. You know, you can enjoy the show and be like, I'm never going to run Mage. I'm going to go buy Werewolf. Good pick. But you can do that and it'll still support us. And then, of course, a special shout out to our patrons who actually give us a monthly subscription, I guess you could say. Support the show, lets us do cool stuff, upgrade gear, get us out to PAX Unplugged, stuff like that. Supports the channel and got us commissioned art, stuff like that. So yes, thank you to Alexander, Brandon, Claire, Danny, Giovanni, James, Josh, Cat Feathers, Michael, Nova, Perry, Puppeteer, Brian, Schmitty, Senna, and Thomas. Thank you guys for your support. We greatly appreciate it. It means a lot to us that people think we are apparently worth money. What? Okay. If you yourself want to join, that is staylucky.club. And you can, of course, come join us and hang out and chat with us. That's on Discord. That's yeetinto.space, which, by the way, that got talked about in Discord recently, and there's like, oh yeah, I bet yeet into space is like the go-to thing. You do that all the time, because I mentioned that I have a calculator for. Dude has yeet into space once.
Just once.
But nonetheless,
I threatened it a bunch of times.
You didn't even throw them up though.
It was
you threw them to a
sideways.
wall.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pinned them to a wall. They didn't have too much distance. Oh no, we did do a lot of
No, they
distance,
flew down
so.
the alleyway.
Yeah,
Yep.
you toss them down an alley.
Yep. So when we last left, the Cabal had arrived back from Peru, had codified their Cabal as the Rookery, claimed their territory, and sent off Shodell. Well, okay, didn't send off Shodell. Shodell went to go play Town Crier and share it with all the other mages of New York. And then called Wyrd out on the fact that she's basically building a labyrinth.
It's definitely got a labyrinth.
Yeah, it's totally a labyrinth, but Wyrd tried to downplay it a little bit, but we all know what this thing is.
It's one guy.
It's one guy.
Oh, also the whole
Your
like
very
you building a
first
mystery
one.
cult is another reason why you make a good Farseeker.
Oh,
So,
yes.
like, you're getting the people and you're getting totally.
Yep, connections and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I mean,
You literally have people at your
beck and call.
disposal. Beck and call. Yeah.
Yep.
I have one guy right now, but I'm working on
No,
it.
you don't
No,
know.
the
Oh, that
mystery
would have been
cult.
a fucking rad episode when Mammon was around.
No,
The title?
the
Beck and
players.
Oh, that would have been a great one. Yes. Oh, dang.
Shame.
Time magic.
Rip.
Shifting sand. Send me back. No, because I don't want to have to redo everything else that happened after.
All the title cards.
Oh. But yes.
But yeah, you've got the players are all part of your cult, even if they're not like awakening.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. The mystery
Yeah.
cult influence does mean you have influence over that cult, which is starting to grow, especially as you've been away. Which actually brings us to what are you guys doing after we had Shodell and Wyrd leave and chat. Was there anything Atreides and Songbird did other than getting this space ready?
I think it's that for the
Okay.
foreseeable day.
Yeah, like tomorrow I want to go check on Judd and see
Yeah.
how he's
Sure.
doing. But
Yeah,
I think we should.
His week
maybe.
is running out, or rather, his week is running out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we should extend a offer to bring the two of them together and let Hiza take a look with both.
See if they can determine anything else from two of them.
Yeah, and see if we can determine anything else.
Very
Yeah.
I was going to see if Colossus would bring
Thurzon's Codex.
Thurzon's down.
Yeah,
for
I
us.
can call Hiza and ask if they want to come here tomorrow.
Cool.
Sure.
Sort of a neutral ground. That way no one's getting in the other order's business and stuff.
Okay. And yeah, I imagine that kind of gets texted around.
Mm-hmm.
I know Wyrd had plans. Is she going to put that on hold for a little bit, or considering what's coming next, or she's like, I need to do this now?
I need to do it now.
Okay. So that night.
No, I mean, we can backdate it or whatever, roll back the clock, but it's definitely happening right after she leaves.
Go ahead.
No, that's
That's
fine.
Just go in
Yeah.
order.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, Wyrd making her way back to her sanctum that she's been away from for. Well, never mind. She was back last night, but yeah,
And,
the abandoned Worth Street station.
Yep. And double check the lock to make sure we're not going to get disturbed.
Sure. And you have to set up your domain again, by the way.
Do I?
You took your soulstone because you did not leave it.
Right, yes. So I'll set up my domain again.
So Gnosis plus Arcana, and it doesn't have a mana cost, right?
Uh-uh.
No, you just have to keep doing it until you succeed.
Right. 2 successes are necessary. Which, at this point, is getting pretty easy for you guys.
Yeah.
Have them big mana pools, or dice pools.
Yep.
There you
Yep.
go.
2 successes on the first try. It's becoming familiar as the artificial verge to the Arcadia takes
Mhm.
hold. And then resolve plus composure to meditate. Okay, so it takes an hour, and remind everybody at home and myself, what is her astral journey like as she's meditating there, laying there, sleeping?
She's passing through a tunnel of like massive thorn vines.
Making her way down
And
the
Very
path.
Arcadia.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as she's walking, the thorns are like tearing away clothes and the image of what she sees herself. And by the time she gets through the other end, she looks like a lot more elfin.
Are you sure you're not a changeling?
Pretty sure?
Yeah.
I mean, but you don't really ever know, right?
I think you would know. But yes.
Well, it depends
yeah.
on which part you are, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, removes the fleshy outer shell of Wyrd, leaving the elfin, big hair. For me, I'm sorry, it's straight up Super Saiyan
Tinkerbell.
Wyrd with the hair, because I think you said it kind of was flowing a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, elfin ears even smaller than she is normally. I think. I don't let me put words in your mouth.
Yeah. No, she's
Unless you're like
a
3
little
feet tall
shorter.
when you're.
I don't know if it was necessarily that small, but definitely like about 4 feet.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
she loses about a foot and a half off her height, and then emerges into, I'm not sure, last time it was dark and there was a battle going on. So
Right, and fell. Barley has finally found a place to sleep. Those of you on the podcast, sorry, you're missing out on cute doggo laying
Very
on a bed.
cute dog
Sit
sleeping.
down.
But yes, Wyrd. Yeah, you find yourself in a place that for a moment seemed absolutely unfamiliar. Everything is disjointed, and you're looking around, and you realize that you have been here before. You see the big tower that had been crumbled before. It is still a ruin, though looking at it, it seems different. You can't quite place. Is it shinier now? Is it prettier? Something. It's still broken. It's still not a used tower. But notably, the battle lines that you had seen out beyond it are less temporary. You do not see the stakes in and then lines of not picket, big
like
wood
watchfires and stuff.
Yeah, but now is a
palisades and things. Yeah.
Palisade. Yes, it is no longer a palisade. Thank you. But
the horse stabby bits.
Yeah, less stabby bits and more like silver edifice wall of stone with just a little. It's not shiny, glinty metal, but the silvery stone that is manned by patrolling forces, but none seem like on edge. There's not, as last time you were here, lines of people ready to do battle. And now it seems to be a nice, simple border with, people patrolling across it. And there at the base of the tower, what had been tents and ramshackle huts and stuff like that now looks like this village with a nice like openness. There's no longer palisades. It is just a sprawling village, no wall, and you can see beaten paths that crisscross through the village out to the forest in multiple places and off to the walls where there are doors that are wide open to accept visitors. And yeah, considering the last time you had been here when it was dark and the moon was high and the sun was soon to rise, it looks considerably different.
So last time I came out in the high up in the air and fell a long way into a lake. Does that happen this time, or am I on the ground?
Yeah, like I said, you walk out of the forest through, kind of push your way through some brambles and go, where the hell? Oh, I know where I'm at.
Okay, I'll make my way down to the village.
Sure. There you find, many of the same villagers, who, some of them seem to have semi-familiar faces or faces that are amalgams. You see this weird, Atratus Santiago, hybrid. It's a lot of faces of just, it's like somebody conjured faces from people and kind of merged them together and stuff like that. It's no,
like in your dreams.
Right. Yeah. Very, very much. Yeah.
So she had a house last time I was here.
She had a little hut. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to head to the hut and see if she's there.
Yeah. There is no longer a hut, but a nice little, like inn tavern kind of thing, a central hall. And you make your way inside, and I cannot remember her name for the life of me.
She never gave me her name.
True. Yes.
Yeah.
But yes, you recognize your daemon very quickly, is there, and she's in, we'll say buxom barmaid, off the shoulders kind of thing, but this apron, and you can see she's got a platter of drinks and stuff like that, and you see this big gnarly cudgel dangling off of a
shillelagh. I love it.
Yeah, shillelagh is a good term. Just dangling just off of a belt and stuff like that. And it has some slightly dark stains of she's beaten somebody with this more than once. But inside is just villagers at ease. There's no farms outside. It's just people are here.
Mm-hmm.
You see no signs of industry or activity. It's people at their leisure here and in the village.
Okay. And as I'm moving through the village, I'm friendly, smiling to people and waving.
Mm-hmm. And people recognize you and wave, but they all just have this kind of, they're nobodies. There's nothing to them. Mm-hmm.
So I walk up to her and say, "Hey,
hello, Wyrd. Take a seat.
I know.
I'll get you in a second."
Okay.
And
go have a sit. And just kind of, I'm drumming my fingers on the table.
Yeah. I mean, and she's there a moment later, smiling and, okay, what can I do for you now?
I know you've probably got something for me, and I promise I will throw myself completely into it. But before we do that, can we just talk for a few minutes?
I mean, that is what we are here for. That's what this is for. What are you trying to get off your own chest?
I want to say, I've been thinking about this since we left Peru, and now that I'm here, I don't know what to say. I want to say thank you. And I'm sorry. I think.
For what?
Well, my I haven't done a lot of talking with you since my awakening, and that was a really rough time. I fought you, me, us every step of the way, and you dragged me kicking and screaming into the waking world. And I want you to know that I'm very glad that you did, that you stayed by me and didn't give up on me. And you've always stayed by me, and you're the only one who has always been in my corner. You have cheered my successes and comforted my failures. You've held me when I was hurting. And you've carried me through you've carried me through the darkest days of my life. And I want you to know that I appreciate everything you've done for me.
And you, like, previously she was kind of leaning, doing the, like, you know, how you doing, barmaid kind of lean and stuff like, and then kind of looks at you and goes, okay, hang on. Sets the platter down, pulls up a chair and sits across from you. You know I'm you, right? Like, this is you?
Yes and no. Like, with when bad things were happening, I was just a scared little girl. And you're the one that gave me the strength to keep going on. There's people, and like you say, you're me, and yes, that's true to a certain extent, but it's also, in my mind anyway, you are everything I like about me.
Good.
You are my strength and my wit and my sense of humor and my hopefulness. And I owe you a lot. And I want you to never forget that. I appreciate you.
Oh, no, I know you do. Because, but no, I understand. And this is good. You know,
I know you know that, and I know I'm talking to myself at a certain level, but I also, you don't need to hear this maybe, but I need to say it.
You need to say it. I understand. Yeah. Verbalizing it. I mean, come on, you know, because I know, but I mean, this is some self-affirmation is good. Yeah. You know, you can do this looking into the mirror. So this is a little bit more cathartic and, let's be honest, a little bit more interesting than looking at a mirror in a busted down subway.
But we are, at a certain level, we are separate.
I understand.
Like, you know, we found, and I can't believe these two words are coming out in the same sentence, we found an Atlantean soulstone.
Mm-hmm. And
the person who made that soulstone isn't here, or maybe hasn't been born yet. It's Atlantean.
Don't ask me. But, you don't get it, so I don't get it either.
But the fragment that's left is alone.
Mm-hmm.
And that got me thinking, you have always been there for me, but there might come a time that I'm not there for you. And I don't ever want you to be in that situation and not know how much I care for you.
I will always know, but I understand. And it is, I'm sure, probably useful for you to know that I know. And
again, I know you don't need to hear it, but I needed to say it. That's all.
Absolutely. That's good. And you can see the effect outside, right?
Yeah.
It looks better, looks happier. The forest, by the way, considerably less scary. A little less dark there. Oh, yeah. I mean, like, and
just
you know,
a little bit more horny though.
Yeah, you know, it kind of ushers over, and you know, from the window you can see, and you know, the forest, which had been previously dark and full of terrors, right? You know, you can see sunlight coming through, and it's got that great like gold and green glow, you know, and it is, you know, more enchanted forest than haunted forest. You know, you can see shapes that move, you know, in amongst bushes and stuff like that, and they're not, twisted, horrible, scary forms with red eyes and more the, flowing shape of elven beauty and stuff like that, seen at a distance.
So we've... is she still there?
Who?
The centaur.
I mean, your aggression and wildness, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I mean, does she still look like that? Just because I was thinking that I know somebody who would really love to meet her someday.
You can, she can look
yes,
that way.
We can.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm ever going to be ready for that level of intimacy, but I'm sure he would love to see her, or she would love to see her.
Well, I mean, go get drunk some night. She'll come out. just saying. Go partake in some, bacchanal rite. She'll be here. She may look exactly like you dancing on a table, but
sure,
she's there.
I'll keep that in the back of my mind. There was, I don't know if you have something to talk about, but there was one more thing I wanted to look at.
I'm all ears. I mean, you're making progress. At this point, no, I don't have any homework for you.
Okay. Well, I want to have a look at. Well, we've recently expanded our repertoire,
mm-hmm.
and I wanted to see if we could have a look at that. And
out of character, what specifically are you talking about?
The space arcana that I just added.
Yeah. And she
this
says
is definitely off my beaten path, so I'm.
Indeed. Come on. And she, walks you through, out the tavern inn thing, and walks up these worn steps up to that grand, tower, and, walks inside, and she's like, you didn't come by last time, motions, and the outside, which is a gorgeous but definite ruin, looks great. But inside, you can see, Atreides would probably call them all the marks of your soul, and you can see just all these symbols of, and tell me how Wyrd sees them, but, these runes and symbols of, your rotes and your praxis and your arcana and, these levels that are built out, and, specifically, you can feel the changes that are happening, and you can basically see this, tower that is your Gnosis. Now that you're here and seeing it, you're building Gnosis, and all the marks that it has, and all the arcana spreading out to these different levels. I don't know if they have. I mean, go wild here, Craig, Mister, because you've DM'd before. Make something up off the spot.
So the tower has been through a lot of shit, and it's got scars, and there's repairs and maybe still some wounds, but it's solid and the foundations are strong, and the symbols are sort of growing up from that solid foundation as they start to get higher and higher. So like the fate one is very, like, all the fate stuff is very solid and firm, and like that's a well-trodden path, but there's a couple that are a little less, so
more cobwebby,
a little less, I don't want to say well cared for, but they're not as firm, they're not as deeply entrenched in the foundations.
Perhaps using our Gnosis tower thing, they've got the scaffolding,
yes.
Yeah.
Right, and there's some brand new work that's like still under a sheet, and pull the sheet down, and I'm looking at the space symbols for the space arcanum, and it's brand new. Hardly a mark in the stone yet.
Yeah.
Still a little rough.
That's true, because you don't have a praxis or rote for space. Yeah, so you just have the just raw arcana. The building, the tools are there.
But it's on a section of wall that's like, it's a blank canvas. Like it's set aside for there's going to be a lot more here, but they've just sort of started the work.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. This feels kind of right. But it's like the patterns and stuff are a little bit at odds with the fate and time. Because Acanthus is to a certain extent about leaving connections and not being bound by connections, but space is all about connections and picking and choosing connections and reinforcing them or breaking them. So the pattern hasn't quite sorted itself out yet. There's a little bit of a clash.
The paint doesn't quite match each other. Yeah,
exactly. So there's still some stuff to get sorted out. But that's awesome.
Yeah, it has potential to probably, kind of looking up, raise the tower. Like this is you have plans. We have plans. I'm very curious to see where this goes.
So am I. I'm not really sure where it goes either.
Layla.
But yeah, no. Follow the Lunargen path. Wyrd. Like we let fate guide. Follow follow what you see, and yeah, I'm very curious to see where this goes. I mean, we could cheat a little bit, see a little bit in the future, see where it might go, but I know that I know that where we want it to go. But
yeah, let's do that. Let's have a peek.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to do that?
I'm fine with it. Go ahead.
Sure. So, I haven't looked into the future very much, but I'm going to try a premonition. If that's okay.
Oh yeah, go for it. Where is that silly thing? Is it 2 dots?
Yeah, I think just divination, 1 dot.
Okay, yeah. I was just like, wait a second, hang on. I don't have a premonition 1 spell. That's not coming up. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I would just for the language.
Oh yeah.
Clear that.
Of course, you're casting within your own soul, so you have unlimited reach.
Unlimited reach. Time, Gnosis. How do we do yantras and stuff for casting in my own soul?
Well, it is kind of...
This is my first time, so...
Yeah, you definitely have an environment yantra worth 1. But yeah, what stuff did you bring in?
Well, you're in your domain still.
Yeah, I'm in my domain. I have my own soul.
Use that as a 2.
Yep.
My daemon is right there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how much reach I need. But
you have unlimited reach.
Yeah, I have an unlimited reach, so it doesn't really matter.
Roll some dice. Who the fuck happens?
Yeah. 3 and 2. I don't think I need potency.
That's just how many questions you get.
Yeah, so... Yep. And I'm going to get 2 anyway, so I'll take -2 to get a 3rd question.
Okay.
Don't need duration, right?
Nope.
No scale. So 6. I can do 8 yantras, right? No, 7.
Oh, yeah. I was just saying, no, you can use 3. Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's, that's our... Wait. Oh, right, time. So used to all of you guys having 4 dots in your big stuff. But yeah, I forget this one's the time spell. So 5, 3, 10.
Okay.
There you go.
4 successes.
All right. 4 successes. So I'm wanting to... I'm on a path to look for emanation realms, and the question I want to ask is, are emanation realms going to lead me to where I want to go in space? Specifically, the legends her great aunt used to tell her about the other world and how it was all about connections and time and fate and sort of the mixing of the three.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's always been our goal, is to try and get that, try to find this otherworld place, because myths are all true. And
I think emanation realms will definitely inspire your knowledge, your growth.
all right. Am I going to find a legacy that takes me where I want to go?
I think the answer is yes, you will find one.
Well, find versus make. That's what I'm.
Yeah.
Is there one out there that will take me where I want to go, or do I have to forge my own path?
Is there one out there? Yes.
Okay. Okay. I think that's all I really had.
Yeah.
I went for 3 questions, but
You have one more question.
I got all my answers.
Yeah, whatever. Just, toss that one to the aether.
I'll just leave that one out there.
You can ask about anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have any other questions?
About yourself, at least, yeah.
Yeah, within the bounds of me. No, I think that's all the mysteries I wanted to reveal here.
Yeah.
I'll just leave that
Of
one.
course, the future is always a sketchy thing to divine on. So, but your daemon kind of, smiles and, nods and says, yeah, I mean, there's so much out there. So, who knows? And, Stephen could be an interesting ally in this.
Yeah.
Even that Jimmy Smalls, the cabal is, a resource. You know that as much as any. We have to play nice.
I know. I'm still trying to get my head wrapped around that.
Yeah, we don't do group stuff very well.
We're trying,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, we were on our own for so long.
Yep. But you're doing better.
I feel
Look
better.
at, and kind of steps back, to a window and kind of motions at, the two sides and says, hey, you're getting along inside yourself a little bit better, so.
Yep. Yeah. I'm feeling pretty good lately. Still making bad choices, but sometimes that's how you learn, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh man, there's a Ben Franklin quote. I can't remember what it is, but whatever.
And
Experience,
and we're putting down roots. Like we have a sanctum.
You have a sanctum. You have people relying on you. You have theater.
Yes. Is that cool or what?
It's pretty cool. We'll see how that play goes.
I have every confidence it's going to be awesome.
It will be a thing.
Mm-hmm. All right. Unless she's got more, that's all I really wanted to.
Cool. Yeah. No, that's it. It's always fun.
One last thing.
Oh, yeah.
One last thing.
One more thing, says Columbo.
What should I call you?
I'm you.
Right, but you're also certain aspects of me.
Sure. Damon works
weird.
for me. You can give me a name. You know the power of names, so.
I do know the power of names. That's why I wanted you to pick one.
Should call her Matt. Is it Matt Damon?
All right, everybody. Thank you all for coming.
Sorry, I'm kicked out of the group
Hang your head in shame.
It was pretty good.
Give it some thought and pick one.
Yes. Give it some thought.
Well, yeah. This is all strange for me.
It is.
I'm sure it's strange for you too, right?
Yeah. Let's be honest. I had the same amount of experience that you do. I've never done this before.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for the talk.
Absolutely. Whomp, as you kind of, march your way back to your body. Cool. Do we fast forward to, I think it would be the next day?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
See a bunch of nodding heads. And so, yeah, Colossus basically replies back and says, yeah, if we find some nice, neutral, safe territory that we can beat. I'm not one for research, but yeah, finding out
Sure.
more about the thing
I
that we
feel like
have.
As my mentor and as kind of a neutral ground sort of representative of the adamantine arrow.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Oh, also, I have a present for you.
Oh, well, I mean, when you say it like that, of course I'll show. So yeah, we cut to, noonish. Oh, yes.
I wanted to spend that inspire condition I had when transmuting the flower that Wyrd took.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't
Cool.
know if I took that beat already or no. So.
You had not mentioned using the inspired condition, so yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think I talked about that after the game in chat.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Cool. And yeah, so you guys meet up. I guess. Well, actually, we've had several. Oh, you haven't had your domain to allow the quick, easy transmutation. So that's fine.
Should I roll to set that up? Because I would have done that when I got home.
Nah, I don't really think so. Yeah. At this point, specifically when you guys are not under any strain or stress, there's no reason to. Cool.
I'm gonna, if it's okay with the Tratus, I'm gonna scoop up our hollow in our sanctum.
Oh, do you mean take all the mana from it?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, she was sitting on 5 before, got another one back, and then
And
scoured.
then I scoured twice because we had 2 days.
Yeah, I put a bunch into the pen. So
oh yes, that's right. Yeah,
felt like it was a
cool.
yeah. There you go.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I get 4.
Yeah, so you guys meet up in the.
Don't forget, you got a bottle of Coke with another one in it.
Oh, okay. Missed that part.
Yep.
Yay.
Yeah, so you guys meet up, and Kiza arrives with Judd getting out of a taxi, and walking, and for previously where he was in tattered loincloth-esque stuff, and he looks way better. He does not look like you had seen him before. He is fleshed out.
Is my spell still on him?
Unless you got rid of it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I mean, I made it permanent.
Or that's right. Yeah. So he's still
So yeah, he should be in great shape.
Yep.
Every hour he's getting a big old dose of.
Healing.
Oh, that's true, because you gave him
healing.
the food.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. He no longer needs to.
He
sleep.
never needs to eat or sleep.
He does have to sleep.
He needs to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's not just jacked up on willpower all the time, but
yeah, he's definitely looking better, and is dressed in kind of normal street clothes, which definitely you can tell he's gotten a little bit used to. The attire is very different from a couple hundred years ago.
I speak out the high speech rune of greetings.
Yeah, Shodell is or he's dude, chill, we're in public. Well, I guess probably not.
No,
Yeah. Yeah. And he says, repeats it. And he says, actually, English is okay now.
Oh,
Nice. So they did the mind magic fix that.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, and I mean, I'm actually learning English, but
rad.
yeah, but he's has been quite helpful.
He is that.
In at least in communication, and then I have to sit still for hours at a time.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's okay. I've been introduced to the internet, and so I'm learning. It's terrible and
yeah.
Oh, you Googled your own civilization, didn't you?
Yes, and then Nagasaki
Yeah.
and Hiroshima. But then I also make cat memes. So
Oh, you're a regular Fifth Element.
I'm
Did you Google that? It's a good movie.
and pulls out a little notepad
To write it down.
writes it down, and you can see Star Wars, Avengers. He's got movies.
How are you doing? You've been through a lot, and you're into a whole different world. You coping okay?
The first couple days were very rough. I when I went into that temple, everything was built from stone and earth and now like points out the window at like skyscrapers and middle of New York, and it's like the sheer amount of people but I'm processing. And
that's good.
Brad,
and
are you still good with us calling you Judd?
Yeah, do you have a choice for a name? Do you remember your name?
No, I don't.
I was hoping He's might be
cool.
able to help
Judd
you
it
with
is,
that.
my dude.
He's suggested that he might be able to dig in
find it
and find my memories, but I'll be honest, there are a lot of memories to go through, and most of them were bad.
Right.
We've discussed erasing that time span. I'm thinking on it, but that feels rather drastic and permanent and
final. Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything to be learned from that time, but at the same time, it's what makes me. And I don't know how well I would do going from being home in Tukume and then suddenly being here with no transitory period. I'm okay with this for now. But
okay, so
cool, man.
Name, you're still fine with
Judd.
Okay.
What up, Judd?
Now with a better understanding of English,
You understand it's like it's shortened from Judge, right?
Right. Yeah. No, I understand it, and
Dude,
but
so you got to stick with me. I'm the smart one.
Yep. But
I physically restrain myself from rolling my eyes.
but no, I understand. And this is. And kind of looks over at Hiza and he says, I am not cleared for going out in public unsupervised. There's
it's probably a good idea.
A lot for me to learn.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I ever will. I may live in the Athenaeum. I may travel to other places. And I'm okay spending some time in. I'll be honest, I woke up and I had, for the first time, like a sense of time moving forward.
Hell yeah.
And there was, and I felt like I made progress, and it was like, it was not the same day. It was not the same thing. And that alone lifted a weight off of my heart.
Dude, I'm all about lifting weights.
So, and he's just sitting back here, like looking like proud parent, like I did a good job.
Like, look, I fixed him.
I fixed him up.
Yeah, your dad of the week.
Right.
Emphasis on week.
Yes. No, I'm
harsh, man.
And that is one thing we'll talk about.
Figure out where you're going to go.
Yeah. He says, I've got. We have a place for him. There's a room at the Athenaeum as long as he needs it. But he is your friend. And so that will be a discussion.
Can't spell friend without find.
Yeah, that we all need to have. So yeah.
I'm sure Colossus shows up like.
Oh yeah, I was going to say pretty soon.
Dramatically appropriate time,
right? And so yeah, you guys kind of like pulled chairs and benches together, kind of in a circle, and Colossus has the grimoire in his hands. Roll 20 bug out for you guys too.
Yeah, everyone's gone but me.
Yeah,
There you go. You're back.
Okay.
that's fine. We don't need roll 20 right now. But yeah,
Are you kidding? We're about to scrutinize the hell out of
That's
everything.
very true. But Colossus kind of brings out the Codex and looks at Judd. Nods, looks at Hiza, says, "Okay, they're here together." And like there's this synchronized motion that looks different for everybody as everybody puts mage side on. And Hiza says, "Well, unless you all have a problem with it, I'm going to go ahead and start and see if I can make some progress." And kind of looks at the Rookery and says, "With your permission."
Yeah, I mean,
We're trying to see if
everybody
two of
might
them
keep your
can
shit under
teach you more
under
than
control,
one.
but
Right. And so he
Colossus and I don't want to have to scrub this thing too many times.
right. That's true. And so puts his glasses on and starts to really focus, and Judd like immediately starts to like move and squirm a little bit. He can't quite tell what exactly is happening, but he can tell, and is constantly looking at the stone tablet.
So Judd, whatever was done to you, and the reason that we came and ended up finding you is that there is a set of things, grimoires, and we found this one first, and it led us to go find you. So you are connected to this thing. I'm sure you can feel it.
I can. Hiza has given me some basic information. And while it sounded,
we're all going to be taking a look. So
yeah,
apologies if it feels weird or
Invasive.
invasive.
Sorry.
I'll let you know. I had originally thought the idea of being connected to a stone tablet from another part of the world was bizarre, but standing this close to it, I can feel it. It is not uncomfortable. It is merely unusual.
You're aware of it?
I wouldn't say. Well, I'm aware of the connection.
Yeah.
And I don't feel drawn to it. I can just feel it. And Hiza kind of holds up a hand. He goes, that didn't work.
Still locked?
Nothing from two.
No, I mean bringing them together didn't clear anything up. I mean it. For me, it was a clearing of television static. It's less, but I still can't cut through it.
I went to specifically try and scrutinize the signature grimoire-ness that we've talked about before. That connection, I guess, is what we're talking about.
So you're on Judd, or you're just talking about scrutinizing the connection,
like the mystery of the connection between them.
Okay, yeah, you can do that.
I want us to do that too. If they're connected, I'm thinking there's going to be a fate thing there.
It could be. Space is, you have a dot of space. Should you want to inspect it that way, that is very much the connection.
And you can spend mana for successes.
Correct.
Don't forget that. What is the opacity I'm looking at here?
Of the connection itself, I think it's just 2.
Okay.
All right. So give space a shot.
There's one.
Okay. Give me a sec. So that's 3, 2, and then go ahead and reveal if you wish. Cool.
Yeah.
So in short, what you are seeing, especially because you're using Prime, I suspect,
Mhm.
you're basically looking and to pull on like Earth knowledge and mundane knowledge and stuff. This looks like a set of essays that are part of a series.
It's the same writer.
Mm-hmm. Right. Same writer, which at first like, okay, that makes sense. And then you realize that's a lot of arcana for one person to be drawing on.
Because so far we've seen evidence of mind,
space,
prime, death,
and matter.
Oh, space.
Yes, there is space on the Thrazon's cerebromancy.
Oh, I thought it was just magic. Or just mind.
The only rote it has from space is I think it's. I'm double checking. I believe it's Web Weaver. Yes. It's the only space spell it has is Web Weaver.
Okay.
Which basically lets you.
Is there matter on Judd?
Yes.
Okay.
I
So
know. Yeah. What are the rotes on him? Because you can read them looking at him, right?
On Judd.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If
Civ or Soul. Yeah.
Yes. Excuse me. No.
No, that was on the chair.
That was on the chair. Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, looking at Judd, which I guess previously Atridas really hadn't had a chance to do. But you find Ghost Summons, Quicken Corpse, Quicken Ghost, Revenant, and Withering Death are all the death ones. And then the matter side.
God, it's a whole bunch.
It's a lot.
Yeah, and Thrazon, because you guys don't have mind don't have mind yet. Do have space a little bit. I hadn't bothered to write those down just yet. I need to. Matter only has, I believe, Ghost Wall.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the opacity for space?
What exactly are you studying? Are you the connection between them?
Yeah, connection. Yeah, the actual connection itself.
Okay. That's actually going to be an opacity 4, I think.
For space?
Mm-hmm. Because specifically the connections between them. Yes.
Well, I'm not going to get very far.
Well, and that's where you get into throwing mana at it.
Yep.
Because for each mana
and willpower, if you
willpower too.
Yeah. All right, so I'll put a couple mana into this.
How many?
2.
Okay. Okay, so that's 3 successes.
2 mana gone. I'll do a willpower. Okay, first layer's done. Now I'm at 3, right?
Correct.
2 more mana. Hope I don't mess this up for anybody. 1.
There you go.
No, because you put 2 mana into it, so that clears the third.
Yeah, you're down to
right.
2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm down to 2. So willpower. 2.
Down to 1.
And
you're out of free rolls as well.
Yeah.
And I'm out of free rolls.
But it's okay. You have 2 prime folks who are good at clearing.
Yep.
So I'll do another mana.
You don't need to.
Shouldn't have to.
I don't have to?
Because you only need 1 success because you only have 1 opacity left.
Yeah, but okay. Oh, hey,
There
cool.
you go. And then you can roll the reveal, which is your Gnosis plus space.
My
again.
Achilles heel.
Oh.
Wait, it didn't do. I put a willpower in there,
Oh, okay.
but it didn't take it for some reason.
Roll 3 more dice.
Yep.
Oh.
Really rough.
The curse of revelation strikes Wyrd yet again.
I'm gonna try it one more time.
Okay.
So -1.
Yes, it is.
So it's right with a willpower, so I'm only at +2. Come on. Okay, finally.
So yeah, as you're looking at this, and I think he's is probably like watching you, like, what are you, like, newbie space mage? What are you doing? But you're looking at the connections, and specifically now that you've got 2, I think especially because you cleared all 4 opacity, excuse me. The thing that you draw on is the biggest thing, especially space is new to you, and it's very odd to look at it from the Occultist side of things. But the number one draw that you get is that there are 5 things.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
And very similar to what Songbird was getting, is that you find effectively there is 5 that are all from the same writer.
Jesus.
Were they made to be connected?
Yes. Yeah.
Were they one thing that got split, or is this a manufactured connection?
What is the connection?
What do you mean? Oh, like strength, or
yeah.
Actually, with the thing I would is here you can find a strong connection between the 2 of them. But the other things, it has a weak or almost non-existent connection.
Distance.
Yeah, there's something about, and especially your rudimentary knowledge of space says distance doesn't matter on a sympathetic connection. But for whatever reason, you're staring here and you're going, yes, but apparently not.
It does.
Unless.
Well, those connections showed up stronger under fate.
Sorry, say that again.
Those connections showed up stronger under fate before, when we were finding out where the other map, like where the other items were. I don't get the same information, but the fates of these things are tied together.
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
So proximity for the space connection. So they're stronger when they're together?
Oh,
the thing you said came through.
Yeah, the grimoires do not appear to be stronger together.
Right, but they have there's ancillary effects that these grimoires have, right?
And notably, the one thing, again, newbie space mage, and perhaps this is Wyrd kind of talking aloud, and he's kind of chiming in. This basically prevents anybody from having one and using it to locate the others, because that connection is there. But if you were to try and cast on it to borrow it, or
sure,
it wouldn't. You'd have nothing. But the connection is there, and it is you can you and Heza probably go back and forth and going no, that's not how this works.
That's not how this Arcana works.
No, but I get it. So this is like a failsafe, so somebody can't translocate.
Do what we're doing right now.
But because I'm an Occultist, I can see where they are. I still have to travel there manually or whatever. I can't just warp myself there.
Right.
Or warp it to
and
me.
Notably, because of for me,
fate,
the fate difference, the fate connection wouldn't actually take you there. You just know that it has a connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to cast this and just follow a line.
We just happened to find a map where someone else had done a lot of the legwork.
Yeah.
And had good guesses on where. And
what is Colossus doing this whole time?
At this point, Colossus is kind of watching. He's you can, having seen Colossus work before, he's definitely reading the rotes on Judd. But that seems to be all at this point. He's kind of he's got a protective presence over Thrazon's Codex, and is watching and listening to the discussion.
Right.
But yeah, he's not contributing really.
So progress, but there's still it's still locked for us.
Yeah. So like we've
Alright.
probably learned most of what we can.
Yep.
I think Songbird's just sitting there just like, this is so fucked, but so cool. Is there any sort of, so like I obviously get some sort of hint that there's like the same like author of these, if that's how we're going to refer to it.
Sure, I like that.
Is there a like nimbus, or like how does that signature read to Songbird? Like how do I know that it's the same?
It's especially because we're talking about grimoires, and basically you're seeing the same, say, sentence pattern. You know, same. You know, he writes the recipe,
the actual crafting of the rotes and stuff.
Right. Yeah, actually, that I think is probably the thing that stands out is the rotes all fall under the same category. Notably, the rotes themselves all use mental skills. None of them use social or physical. They're all tied to. Let me pull up a character sheet so I can actually reference them. But yeah, whoops. Actually, it's really good that I have Mammon's character sheet here, because I know you guys aren't going to be looking at it and I can move the pages on it. But yeah, there's a lot of, like academics, investigation, occult, science, politics. Well, yeah, politics. Like, it's a slew of mental stuff, and whoever was making these apparently didn't have much care for the physical or social sides of skills.
Interesting. The anti-Songbird.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think we like. I don't have anything else as a player that I want to, or that I know to like investigate here. So I think we definitely like in character fucking look at this for a while and talk and
there's
float
some
ideas and stuff
and
like
forth.
that.
And just determine that.
But it's all going to boil down to we got to go to fucking Cambodia or Mexico.
And wherever the last one is.
Yeah.
It's not on our map. We don't know anything about the apparently there's a fifth one.
So that's the revelation, right? Is that there's 5 of these
There's a fifth one. Yeah. Look, if Songbird knows anything about the few video games he's played, we're going to have to find all 4 of them to unlock a clue to get the 5th one. It's sort of a final boss. Unless.
And Hiza kind of motions and says, well, the Codex was already in Seer hands, and they were looking for the other ones.
Maybe they've got the other one.
That's...
Well, that's a bridge we'll cross later. Judd?
Yes?
What do you want to do?
To be honest, enjoy sunlight. Warm, non-stagnant, cold air.
Sure. Do you want to stay at the Athenaeum?
The Athenaeum is comfortable. There are many people who want to talk to me. The museum upstairs is very interested in talking to me. I'll
bet.
Yeah, apparently I have a great insight into not necessarily the a Native American Indian, but that culture, that time period. Apparently, I'm a great resource.
Yeah, just remember the Spanish were a bunch of dicks.
Oh yeah, don't worry. That was the first thing I looked up on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Yeah, and kind of like looks in. It's like, I believe Songbird, you said white people suck.
Yeah, it's a big mood.
I get it now. At this point, I can't be mad. Like,
It's been
you know.
hundreds of years. Still,
Yep.
sucks.
Layla grumps
All
on
right,
behalf.
Well,
Well, if you're good at staying in the Athenaeum, as long as you're looked after and happy enough there.
I am. And for now, I'm
And-
enjoying freedom.
yeah.
Eventually,
Let us know if you need anything, like from us.
I will. I'll be honest. Eventually, I want to
Try
be useful and
Sure.
do something. But for now, I'm happy not sleeping with corpses in the
Sure.
room.
I will
Yeah.
say, and I think I speak for all of us, that we feel a certain amount of responsibility for you.
Yeah. I want to make sure you're
and
okay.
We want to make sure that you're looked after. So if you ever get tired of the Athenaeum, let us know and we'll do everything we
We'll
can
figure
for
something
you.
out.
Yeah. I'll keep that in mind.
And
I
you can
think
even-
of you as my friends. At least, I mean,
Hell yeah, my dude.
Yeah.
he kind of
You gotta be
motions.
friends with the guy that came up with your rad ass name.
Yeah. But I mean, you were the first people I saw in so long, and you got me out. Like I will admit, I miss Supe. On the other hand,
Little
I
Stockholm
never want to
syndrome
go back
going on
there.
there.
And
The guy was kind of a dick, though.
you just didn't get to know him.
No, that's Stockholm syndrome, my friend.
Well,
You can Google that Stockholm
I
syndrome.
mean, he was only being an ass to us because we were breaking the rules.
Supe.
No,
Supe
there was a
and-
large amount of.
Supe and I had a lot of time to talk. He told me what that place was, and he told me what I was supposed to be able to do, and I couldn't. And he told me about the place fixed people, but
Sure, but Supe was your jailer.
I mean, it would have been someone else. It wasn't personal.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
And I mean,
yeah.
he told me stories.
He was operating within his constraints, which was there must always be a judge. That was the last rule he had been given. He wasn't like intentionally being bad and mean. He was.
I'll admit that would be like I would like to go back eventually. No time soon.
Eventually, you might be
And-
able to.
and see that place working. Obviously, I would be a terrible judge, but to be there and to see it working and to see people fixed and given assistance, and Supe told me like the what they did there, and that I think that was the thing that kept me going.
I just want to point out that like Wyrd and Songbird and Atratus are all probably very carefully watching what Judd says right now.
But like they fix things, and that was it was noble, and I thought maybe it might be I might be able to do it, and now I know I couldn't have, which also makes me feel
Right.
less bad.
Yeah, it wasn't your
Right.
fault. It was
Right. And
whatever asshole did this to you.
that would be the other thing. If I could find who did this, I'm guessing at this point they are probably dead, and I
Or
am
maybe
now.
not. You're not.
I'm not, but I was also in a tomb that kept me alive and kept a lot of corpses intact. And
From what we know about how powerful a mage would have to be to have made you and this. They very well might have found a way to make themselves immortal.
And if that's so, I would
Well,
like to
Have some words.
no, I believe the term is pop a cap in his ass.
Yeah. Atreides can teach you guns. I don't do guns.
I would enjoy that.
We should probably cut this short and let Judd get back to the Athenaeum.
I mean, that would be fine. Actually, Hiza and I are going to go visit Central Park, which looks very pretty.
Oh, it's lovely.
Yes, it's wonderful.
I have seen a lot of pictures. And
have you eaten ice cream yet?
Pulls out, flip, ice cream. No, but I will. Hiza and some of the other the woman Ate has definitely seemed to making me comfortable. There's some of this stuff that I've determined I am not a huge fan of your version of chocolate.
It's too sweet, right?
Too sweet. Actually,
not spicy
hang
enough.
on. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know. Peru, I know that was a thing in Mexico. I don't know if it was a thing in Peru, but we're going to go with it. Yes, spicy chocolate. But yeah. But yeah, we will go.
Nightwind says the one hunting Jimmy is the one who did this to Judd. I was like, wow, that's some fucking 4D chess on Drew's part, if that's true.
But yeah, so with that, he's kind of looks and, everybody agrees that we're kind of done inspecting, and he's leaves with Judd.
Like, we'll talk.
Sure. They head out, and Colossus kind of
Colossus.
Yeah, no, Colossus watches as they leave.
Excuse me,
and says, "Okay, so this is
it's a guy."
So, and I reached down into my bag, brought some stuff today, and I pull out the Aperon femur that I scored from the temple. It's like, yeah. So if you didn't get the whole gist of what was going on there, Atlantean tomb constructed out of Adamas and Aperon, just
tons of it.
So much of it. So much of it.
Self-repairing skeletons?
There was a self-repairing Lunargent garden.
I mean, sure, that's fine.
Yeah.
Moving on from that.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I don't get to be happy about it. But I thought that this, because is there an actual bone in there?
Yes.
Too? Okay. I thought that this could make a good sort of canvas for you to paint upon if we go with that metaphor.
Make a damn nice yantra, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take a look at this. I appreciate it. Is this a bribe?
It's a gift.
No?
Okay. Gifts are good.
Am I not allowed to bring my mentor something nice?
The mentor. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I mean...
No, you're right. You're right. I could dig this mentor thing. Yeah, you guys head out, bring me more stuff. Yeah. That aside, yes, he is a living grimoire. This is a thing of stone. Who knows what else these others might be?
Yeah.
And apparently, and pardon me if my...
We're all in agreeing that we make the logical jump that there's going to be one of each path, right?
Yeah.
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 And the other thing is, this is from Mesopotamia. He is from, Incan. There's centuries of time difference.
Zero chance that it could occur naturally.
And centuries of time distance. So whoever is doing this, if they separated them intentionally, now we're bringing them together. We may be messing with things that are well beyond our ken. So
well, we already know that when these things are together, they have in the past destroyed civilizations.
No,
Yeah,
They can.
you really hung on that one line, huh?
I mean, they'll do what you use them to do.
Yeah.
But yes, it is a thing to be aware of. And
I mean, we're talking like a 10th degree master. There hasn't. I mean, you might know more than I do, but those don't happen.
Not easily, not without them.
I'm also concerned about the fact that he was made and then sent to the temple, to the Atlantean soul workshop. So,
Well, we don't necessarily know that.
no,
Right.
he
Very well
you
could
don't
have
know
just
that
been
he was
living his life.
necessarily sent there.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, and he doesn't really know either, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Because remember,
That's the thing.
from his perspective, he doesn't remember. He was in Tukume when it was like real, and
When people lived there, yeah.
right, and then then found his way.
And
down,
then he was Judd.
and then then he was the judge, and he was down in there because you had the ghost who visited the ruins of Tukume.
Right.
And then, was, ripped, and killed. So, yeah. So yeah, these things, and so yeah, Colossus basically brings up, one of each path. At this point, capable, based on looking at Judd, manipulating ghosts and the dead, messing with memories and connections. If with what he's said is accurate, I am absolutely terrible in those arcana. So between the two, they don't have a singular purpose.
They're all subtle. They're subtle effects.
Most are, but because like the matter one is not.
Right, but there's like one matter and mine. Yeah, no, yeah. There's one space and one
and
matter.
But yeah, that's true. That's very true.
So
they are all subtle, or predominantly subtle. But yeah. So and
I mean,
and if the seers are after them,
I feel like we should get them.
If nothing else, to thumb our noses at them, but and so we are obviously keeping this codex, and if the Mysterium has Judd,
I think keeping them spread out is
I don't want to store them
especially
together.
if we're going to get more.
Right. But we are bringing them at this point all to New York. And so, it is something that we need to at least be aware of and think of potential ways to save things.
I mean,
and I'm going to be blunt and kind of looks back towards Judd and says, I'm going to talk with Pip and we're going to talk bone replacement.
Yeah.
Do you take those out of him?
I don't know that we can. But it's that's not a
thought occurred to me, but
I
imagine those things are anchored in.
Right.
Also,
so
he might,
and not just the bone.
Yeah,
right.
It's probably what's keeping him alive.
That, or was it the tomb, or so that's Pip and I are going to talk about that. And that is not something we are going to do without talking with you all. This is your claim, and without talking to Judd, unless we realize that this is a necessary act,
a safety concern.
Yeah. I will be blunt. I will sacrifice Judd if it means that we save the universe, protect New York.
Right.
I'm not.
Are we going to Red Dread with this?
Yeah. I'm sure he'll probably want to weigh in. Between him and Pip, and others we'll probably have to talk to the Mysterium because they're the ones with all the knowledge.
Right.
And I mean, but this might become a concilium concern.
Okay. Well,
so yeah,
I will let you, or ask you to kind of be a bit of a go-between for us.
Yeah, especially since apparently I'm now your mentor. So that's fine. I'm on board for it. I knew what I was getting into. I didn't know I was getting into this, but
I mean, neither did we. So,
but
Yeah.
that's fine. And
We had, all three of us can attest, kind of expecting a second one of these.
yeah, I was looking for a tablet.
So
Or
that would have made things a lot easier.
a lot easier.
But that's fine. And I'll be honest, I'm proud of you all for not shirking your duty in finding these and deciding that this is a thing that you're going to do. I feel that this is our duty. And it's going to stub our noses at Sears. It's going to protect the mages of the Concilium, and for all we know, the entire world, because yes, they potentially destroy civilizations. Weird. And I'll be honest, there's a little part of me down in that adamantine arrow that goes, I would like this big weapon, but at the same time, walking around with a nuclear weapon in our pocket just because we want to walk around with the nuclear weapon in our pocket is probably not the safest thing. So I'm going to take this back.
Arms races and stuff.
And we're going to find a new place to put this, because the drawer in the arrow armory is not the best.
I told you that.
Yeah, you did, and at this point, we've now reached a level where I'm not telling you where it is going.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Pointed look at Wyrd.
Well, it's not even that. It's flat out. If you guys are searching for this, and you come across seers who are searching for this,
we should.
Yeah. Compartmentalization.
God. Yep.
What are you saying, Songbird?
I feel like the Guardians are going to have something to say about these things.
I mean, they can get one.
Actually, I don't know that the Silver Ladder will care to hang on to them, or the Free Council, but splitting it between 3 of the orders, so nobody has.
If you can store them separately,
and spread them out throughout the caucuses rather than just the Concilium.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And kind of looks at Songbird and says, "You should take that to Sun and Winter. Report that up the chain."
Remind Chris who that is.
The Hierarch.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I will put it on my to-do list.
Good. My apprentice pats you on the shoulder and says, I'm going to go lock this up in a vault because it's starting to make me nervous just having it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And hefts it up and walks out. And you watch as he's before he walks out, there's just and because Colossus is a big dude, and he's got the tight shirts and stuff like that, you just catch, peripheral mage sight just as a slew of matter spells just over him, and this, and he's the metal plates affected. Click, 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 click. It's nah, come and get it. As he kind of shields himself.
Aegis everywhere.
Yeah. And heads out into the streets of New York. And with that,
cool.
We don't have a cliffhanger, not really. It's just a good stopping spot. So thank you guys for joining us. That is the end of our episode 58. Hope you guys have
59.
enjoyed it. 59, correct? Yes, thank you. So that's where we will leave it here. As always, guys, if you want to join us and chat with us, come hang out on Discord. All of the, well, not all, but most of the episode titles is from you guys contributing with us. We have a whole chat. I probably should make a separate text chat for it, but regardless, we have a little Twitch spoilers chat, and we have we have episode titles in there. So if you're watching live on Twitch, come by and hang out and do that. If you're on YouTube, you're caught up. So if you're watching this right now and it's Friday, whatever day, that means tonight we're going to be going live. So you can come join us right now. Quick, go check the time and come join us and watch us live, and join with the live fun, which I'll be honest is a lot like watching YouTube, except you've got the chat hanging out and making fun of us, and name ideas on Discord, says Pink. So and then of course support us on Patreon, patreon.com/occultistanonymous. But that's really long. Who wants to type that? It's staylucky.club. And you can join us on Discord, like I was saying. That's yeetinto.space. Follow us on Twitter if you really want to. And then, of course, there is the Mummy the Cursed Kickstarter that is running right now. I don't think there's a quick, easy link for it, but you can just hit Kickstarter and put in Mummy. You'll probably find it. It's looking super good, and I'm super excited for next Tuesday because that's when the next manuscript is coming out, and I'll have more. Hopefully, I think that one should be all the rules stuff,
like actual stats.
Yeah, then the rules won't be under wraps anymore.
Yeah. And also, as soon as I have that, then I can figure out how to unleash mummies upon the cabal. It's a win-win for everybody. Maybe they'll be friendly mummies, or maybe they're going to head into a mummy's tomb to find a grimoire and wake up the mummy because they disturbed their tomb. Anyways, thank you guys for joining us. It's always a blast. And we're running a little bit late, and there's Changing the Lost after this. The channel's gonna host that, and if you're on YouTube, don't worry about it. Until next time, guys,
stay lucky.